Gumball Dreams is live theater in virtual reality. It's an intimate show designed for just 3 audience members and is performed by a live actor.
It deals with loss, it deals with desire, and also reflection on our past, which I think we can all sympathize with.
The thing I love most about Gumball Dreams is that the journey we take the audience on isn't just through this beautiful world, but a journey of self, a journey of discovery.
The paradox of Gumball Dreams is that while its purpose is ultimately to be uplifting, it's also kind of sad, but I think the power in that is to remind us that contrast is everything. Like the rainbows pop so brightly because they're juxtaposed against the black background.
The world of Gumball Dreams is a technochrome utopia with mountains of shimmering steel and ancient constructs both alien and familiar. With every step, the world unfolds in front of you in deep chasms and impossible spaces, and keep you wanting to learn more about each new facet of this strange reality.
A new IRL immersive project I was in was about to open when the pandemic set in. During lockdown, Brian Tull, Braden Roy, Deirdre Lyons, and I broke ground on our first VR show, Para. It was around that time that talk of forming a VR production company came about. The result is the Ferryman Collective.
This all really got started during the pandemic when people had a real deep need for connection with other human beings around the world. I think what's so exciting about creating theater for VR is that it's an entirely new way of connecting with people and connecting them with these stories that we are creating.
I found VR shortly after the pandemic, and one of the first things I ever did was go into VR chat, and I instantly fell in love with it because of your ability to create basically anything you could dream, which is how I see the world anyway. So I set out to make a practice world that was going to take 1 week, and I went online looking for 3D models, and I saw the Gumball machine, and 2 years later, it stole my entire life.
Gumball Dreams was built around 2 fantastical worlds created by Screaming Color.
He is first and foremost a musician. In fact, he got his start in VR and all the wonderful things that he does with us by creating 2 worlds in VR chat as showcases for his music.
I felt like they stayed in my mind like a firefly dancing around the edges until I found a concept and a story that was inspired by these worlds.
After I finished Gumball Lounge, Deirdre scouted me and brought me into Ferryman Collective, who welcomed me with open arms, and then ever since then it's been a whirlwind.
I wrote a first draft and I presented it to Color, as he is affectionately known, and he loved it. And we were off to the races. We then collaborated on the script until it fit his vision of the world, and then he adapted the world to the script.
I thought it was a great idea with which to bring his amazing worlds to life in this surreal and psychedelic journey of self-reflection and empowerment.
The idea behind Gumball Dreams is to have an immersive theater experience where every audience member gets a moment to have a personal dialogue with Onyx, the main character of our story, so they can feel seen and heard in a way that is, well, it's just hard to attain in the hustle and bustle of our physical lives.
During the experience, the audience is asked to participate in a series of questions with the main character of Onyx that are certainly vulnerable. And I think that's always scary because you don't know how people are going to react and if that's going to be something that they respond to or not.
Some audiences are very forthcoming and the conversation is easy. Others, well, they're more quiet and they need to be drawn out. And for those that are particularly shy, well, we can easily pivot to telling stories about Onyx's life.
You become the star of the show by getting the chance to interact directly with the actor in an intimate, one-on-one experience where each interaction allows you to delve more deeply into the mysteries of the world as you venture forth into a breathtaking expanse of abstract shapes and mystical symbolism.
I'm interested in the challenges of connecting with an audience through live performance in VR. How performances connect without the use of certain tools of communication we have in real life.
One of the amazing things about this type of theater is that you not only get to interact with performers and other people that aren't in your same country, they're not even in your same in your same hemisphere sometimes, which is just so fabulous.
Our team gets to create the 360-degree environment that we'll be playing in, rather than search for an existing environment in real life with which to stage the show.
The potential for spectacle is boundless.
Not enough can be said about the general aesthetic of this world, this universe, this story. It's a sensory experience unlike any other that we've created to date.
Existing in a mixture of sci-fi, fantasy, animation, and experimentation, Gumball Dreams defies classification. I love doing shows. When I hear the gasps from the audience, or I have a beautiful one-on-one with someone, there's nothing better.
Performing in VR has its own challenges. For example, we don't have the tools of micro-body expressions to communicate with our audience. Instead, we employ techniques from puppetry and even mime to tell the story. And listening to the audience tells a lot about their mindset. How invested are they in the story? What is their emotional disposition? Are they connecting with the actors and each other?
We're not usually asked to do this type of kind of soul-searching within an immersive theater piece, and certainly not within a video game. This is something totally different. It's risky, it's bold, and it gives people a chance to really play and feel what the world of VR could be. If you like super cool animations and VR style pyrotechnics, then we have that for you too. So there's so much to look forward to in this show.
Just as this experience is about transformation and transitioning, so too do our audiences go through a cycle of catharsis, which leaves them with the feeling of having gone on a journey, not just within this world, but within themselves.
I'm passionate about stories that are bound in emotion. I wanted to create an experience that was grounded in human connection, either with Onyx or themselves or with their fellow traveler, an experience that will linger long after the audience takes the headset off.
As with all of our projects, we're trying to give them an experience that is both entertaining but also thought-provoking. I know when I'm performing as Onyx, I'm hoping that I can give the audience a sense of both the gravitas and the love that Onyx feels in this moment.
With Onyx, we wanted to create a sense of wisdom and power, but also humanity, to show that even though the events of Gumball Dreams take place across the universe from Earth, those same things we value, love, unity, understanding, continue to resonate in all conscious beings.
With all the art that I create, whether it's my music or the world's, my intention above all else is to remind people who I believe they really are, which is extraordinary beings who can experience more joy throughout their lives and whose capacity for love is ever expanding. And I'm really grateful that I'm part of a team who shares that vision.
I am hopeful that audiences leave Gumball Dreams with a sense of awe and gratitude. I hope this reminds us of the beauty in life and the finite amount of time that we have to experience it.
And as a performer, it's really lovely to have people opening up to you in such a nuanced and delicate way, I would say. This is really something very special.
Gumball Dreams is, at the end of the day, a journey. A journey unlike any other, between life and death, and the real and the fantastical. But more than anything, it's a journey between you and us. So please, join us.
To be with someone in the last moments of their life is a great honor, one I had with my father. It is in those moments that we realize what is really important in the world, and we remember to appreciate life and those around us more.
The first song that you ever hear when you spawn into Gumball Lounge is called Soundtrack of a Future of Memory. And the reason it's called that is because I wrote it during what was the hardest week of my life a couple years ago. And I wrote it to remind myself that despite the despair that I was experiencing at the time, I knew that it would all be inexpressibly worth it for the bright future, because it is through darkness that we understand light, and through death that we understand life. And so I think by showing Onyx's death, we remind the audience to live.